Yeah.
Let's get nitty and gritty and talk about
and in the titties.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we had no that's what she said moments with you yet.
Huh?
You always like that's what she said.
Oh, I know.
We haven't
had that yet.
I know.
That's what she said.
Absolutely.
For me, I kind of want to still like continue with like life shit like we've been through, because everyone has their own fucking trauma, honestly. And like I feel like everyone, they say like when you go through your like adulthood, like that's kind of where everything kind of like starts like pouring out, and you don't like realize why you're that way. But then when you kind of like, it's almost like therapy sessions, so it's kind of like you don't realize the way you are, like why you are the way you are. But then when you start reflecting on certain things from your past, like I know for me, like I'm still learning and dealing with that every day. And I mean, I didn't have like a fucking sick ass like crazy childhood, but you know, there was some things that did play a big part. And even like in my adulthood, like you still have trauma like in your adulthood too.
Yeah.
Like at least in your early 20s, I feel like you could still like deal with stuff that affect you now that I'm fucking 30. But you know what I mean? Like, I think that would be good. Like I'm very open and honest. Like I have no issues sharing whatever the fuck happened in my life with people, because I know there's a lot of people who went through the same or something like close to it.
So can I say this? I don't think I've ever said this because, you know, we never discussed this, but I feel like Raw Sugar has given me so much closure and has given me so much self-realization of myself.
Yeah.
And if that can do that to any person, any of our listeners, then dude, that's probably main reason.
Yeah, like, because you know what, you always think about it, but when you say it out loud, it's different. It hits different because it's like, oh shit, like I just heard myself say what's really an issue with myself, or why I'm doing this in this way because of this, whatever the fuck happened. Like I think when you say it out loud, like for me, I'm not like a therapy person. Like I know I want to go to therapy, but that's super hard for me to do. But I feel like this is kind of like a therapy session for me. So I have no issues like sharing my stuff. You know what I mean?
For sure, for me as well. Like this is something that people need, and I know that like I want to make it more, I want people to be more transparent, because I feel like people are so like ready to hide everything and to put up a facade and
behind the filters and stuff.
And like for what?
Yeah.
For what?
It's such a different time. Like why not be transparent? Like why not be upfront and be honest? Like why do you have to like bullshit and lie? And I feel like that's why like I don't have as many friends as I used to because of that reason. I feel like I'm just over the bullshit. Like if you're not like super transparent, or you're just like kind of shady but like not upfront shady, but like I feel like a vibe, I feel like that's why I have like 3 friends. So I have like 3 friends. Yeah.
I'm like, and you're one of them, so I have 2 other friends too. You're one too. So that is something that I would like to change, because I'm like, am I not approachable? Am I not like this and that? But it's kind of like I have a certain like dynamic I want around me.
Yeah, of course.
And I won't tolerate less. Exactly. And I feel like that's me loving myself more than anything. Exactly. And that's important, because I would rather have a baby small circle and then be like so real and so true and just all that, opposed to having a million friends
that are like not upfront, or like my whole thing is like loyalty. Like I feel like me as a friend, I'm super loyal, like, and I'll never like hide that. Like when we went through like our little thing, like I was very vocal with Cece about how I felt, and I had no issues sharing that, just because I wanted her to know how I feel. And I've been like that with everybody, you know what I mean? And I feel like some people can't take that, and so that's why I feel
and I appreciate that, because I'm like, that shows me that you give a fuck. Because my thing is, I feel like when I first get into a friendship or something, I'm like not needy or anything, but I'm just kind of like, be my bestie, be my bestie, be my bestie. Like I'm very like I'm just
you're
obsessed.
like clingy.
I'm like super obsessed with the person, and I'm like, and then I'm like, okay, when I see that it's not like either reciprocated or it's not something that they're digging, I'll completely just
Yeah,
vibe.
cut off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
So
it's not 50-50, it's 100 and 100. Like,
Right.
you have to put in both efforts, like, 100%. Like, the 50-50 bullshit, like, no. You don't do half of the work each. You're all in for one person, and they put their all in. And if it's not, then it's not for me. And I feel like you're that way, too.
Oh, I'm 100% that way.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are okay with, like, 25.
Oh, fuck that.
Like, people, and
That sounds desperate to me.
no, but that's fine. That's okay. That's okay if that's your tea, but that's not like my cup of tea. Like, I want to know your whole motherfucking life. I want you to be invested in me. I want you to be like invested in you. I want to have like an actual relationship.
Yeah.
And like know your soul.
Yeah.
That's the kind of relationships I crave and what I want around me. And I want people, you know, because like I mean, we're like magnets. Like we straight came back to each other. Like, we did have a little bit of distance between us.
Just kidding.
Maybe. But no, like, for real though.
No, yeah.
Like, I've had a lot of temporary friends.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of temporary friends. And some friends, they come back around and you're just like, damn, I really realize that, like, you're a true friend. Like, you're actually someone that's going to be in my life for the rest of my life. Not just a temporary here and there, there. And that's really, like, should we talk about, like, your call?
My call?
Your call to me.
Oh, yeah. I was fucked up.
So,
well, this is because of the whole podcast bullshit, okay? Let's just, like, be real. Okay, so, yes, the whole podcast kind of, like, fucked up our friendship. And I feel like when it came down to, like, us finally talking and stuff, I feel like it was a big miscommunication kind of thing. But I feel like this bitch was just, like, I don't want to deal with the emotions. Like, I'm good over here. Kind of, that's how I felt.
No,
like, she was just kind of, like,
I disassociate.
Yeah, she was just like, I'm good. And I was just like, dude, like, you're my bitch. Like, we would hang out. Before we did the podcast, like, I was hanging out with her, like, every fucking weekend. Like, going to her and her mom's house. Like, just hanging out. Like, we were, like, super, super close. Like, it was, like, a big thing. And then when we decided to do the podcast, I feel like certain issues, like, which is kind of, like, hard, like, going into, like, something like this with, like, a good friend of yours. There has to be, like, I wouldn't say like rules and regulations.
It's like a
but
business,
kind of like,
though.
Yeah,
treat it as a business
so you kind of have to like separate it, but it's hard when you're like close because you feel like you would understand each other more on a different level. But you see podcasts all the time where like their co-hosts like fucking break up. Like Call Her Daddy. Remember that happened?
Yeah.
Like if you guys don't know Call Her Daddy, like that's a good one. But we had talked about it like the last time we did the podcast, and she told me to watch it. And they were like fucking like blowing up, and then they had a falling out, and they were like good friends. And I feel like that's kind of what happened with us, but there was never like a legit conversation.
Yeah, there
for
was
a while.
Thank God there was never like no ill will between me and her. So I feel like it was different. It was just kind of like a negative space that like didn't go and like we didn't talk about it.
Like no, but remember we had a housewarming party here and we hadn't talked since the podcast.
Oh my God!
And this
if anybody was there at the house party, the housewarming party, you'll know how awkward it was because I left and I was just like.
No, okay, look, so she came, like, because she was working and stuff, so she came after work, so it was already kind of, like, late-ish, but we were still, like, partying and stuff, so she walked in the door, and I was just like, I cannot be fake, like, I need to talk to her, like, it was, like, instant, like, she walked in the door, said hi, and I was like, nope, so I was like, can we go talk outside, because everyone was inside, like, that's how upfront I am. I cannot, like, be fake around people when
I love it.
When I have emotions. I was like,
and you should
let's go
be
talk
like
outside.
That.
So we went to go talk outside, and I was explaining to her, and I was
everybody.
I was fucking crying.
She made everybody go inside. Let me do it from my point of view.
No, everyone was inside already.
No. You're like, can you go inside? I need to talk to Cece. And then she had me in front of the Arcadia door. I felt like everybody was staring at me.
No, bitch, we were all the way in the back, liar.
I felt like everybody was staring at me, and I was like, am I in trouble? And so, but that is me. Like, I would rather not deal with anything and just be like disassociated. And so I showed up kind of like, hey, I'm so happy for you. I do, like, I love her and April. I'm obsessed with them. But like, hey. And she was like, oh, hey.
I was like, no, we need to talk right now.
I was like, okay.
And I was already feeling like antsy because I was like, I know she's coming. Like, of course, I still invited her. Like, she was a good friend of mine, but I feel like we never had that conversation. Right. So I was like, babe, like, oh my God, I'm gonna try and like not talk to her. And she walked in, and I was like, we need to go talk. Like, I just couldn't do it. Like, that's just not who I am. Like, I have to always like address the situation for me to feel, especially in my own home. Like, I don't want to be uncomfortable. And I feel like it would have been weird if we didn't have that conversation.
Because
like,
what, you would have not said nothing ever? That's stupid.
Exactly.
Like, you need to say stuff. Like, like I said, I was like, okay, cool. Like, let's
she's
catch
like,
it up.
Fine, let's go. Like, let's go talk.
That's a difference.
I was fucking crying. Remember I was crying?
Yeah.
And you're like, why are you crying? And I was like, I don't know. I'm just like emotional about it. Yeah. But I was just like more like upset because I felt like I was losing like a close friend and I didn't want to lose her over like a fucking podcast.
Yeah. And I'm like, dude, you're not going to lose me. The dynamic was different. Yes. Yeah. So we did kind of lose that. But like losing a friendship, we didn't lose that.
I have abandonment issues. So I feel like she was abandoning me.
I was not abandoning her.
Well, you gotta realize we didn't talk as much, we didn't text as much. Yeah. The only thing we did was like each other's shit on Instagram, but like all communication was like zero. And we weren't texting. And when I would text her, she was like super short, like super whatever. So I was like, okay, there's an issue. Yeah, you see? I'm calling her out on...
No, and the reason why I'm putting my head down is because she's the second friend that has done that to me recently. And I feel like I'm the issue because well, recently I've just been so busy. And it's nothing personal. It's just kind of like I have to do A, B, and C, and D to get to where I want to be. But I literally am so obsessed with my friend, like my little 3 friendships that I do have. I'm obsessed with them. Yeah. So when they tell me, hey bitch, where are you? Or like, why are you not, like, why are we not the way that we were? It affects me because I'm like, fuck, okay. It's a two-way street, and you know, there's a lot of stuff that I could do different, she could do different, and like, if you care about someone so much, then make the fucking effort. Be a weirdo. Who cares? Like, we're only in this lifetime for one time, and tell people you fucking love them, tell people you're obsessed with them, and you know, you want to be around them.
Yeah. And our relationship even now, like, we don't talk every day. But when we do talk, or sometimes I'll text her like, good morning, beautiful, I just want to say I love you. Like, it's just like putting that little effort, but that's like our relationship. Like, we understand that we're not up each other's ass every fucking day, but like, we still will make time to reach out to each other. And I feel like that's why, like, we fought hard to rebuild our friendship after that, was because I feel like we both know that we aren't temporary friends in our life.
No.
Which is so weird, because on like an old podcast, I was like, I only knew you like from fucking like MySpace and stuff. Like, I didn't even know her. Like, I always wanted to be her friend, but like it was only through MySpace and Facebook. And then it's so weird how that happens, but you never know, like, the certain people that need to be in your life for that.
Literally,
for that time.
When you have a soul tie with somebody, I know it sounds a little bit weird, but like when you have a soul tie with somebody, it's inevitable. Like, you can't help it. So you're just kind of like, well, I guess I'm fucking stuck with you for the rest of my life. Let's figure this out. No, but like, it's a good stuff.
Yeah,
you know? Like, you want reputable people and you want loyal people to be in your corner.
100%.
And, you know, so it's when you find that, you want to keep that and you want to water that, you know, you water what you want to grow. And obviously we want our friendship to grow and raw sugar to grow,
and we're low-key gay for each other.
That's like high-key. Don't tell nobody. Don't tell anybody. That's just between us and you sugar babies.
No, like, you know, like, I feel like our next episode, I feel like we can dive in more to like old friendships, and you know what I mean? I feel like we can dive a little bit more into that. This is just kind of just talking about what happened with us, and now I feel like we're closer than we were before, honestly.
I do too, and I'm so happy that we have the podcast back. Like I said, it'll make, like, it will literally force us to be like, hey, we're doing this monthly or every 2 months or however long we decide to do it for. But like, it's a thing monthly, and we're coming together and making it a point to like be in each other's lives. And it's important. You need people in your corner, and don't think you can do it all by yourself, because I made that mistake. And I don't want people to make that mistake.
We're so gay.
I know.
Oh, she's She's crying. Stop. Cut. Are you really crying?
No.
Oh, I was like, what the fuck?
I don't know, man. Should I?
She doesn't cry.
I do cry by myself at night.
Oh my gosh. Do for us. Just kidding.
No, are you good?
Are you good?
Do we need another episode? No, I'm weak. Okay,
So-
anything else we need to talk about?
No, I think that's good. So next episode, I think we'll dive in a little bit more into friendships because I do have a lot of
Yeah.
past friendships that I would love to talk about. Actually,
I think that's a common thing with females,
Yeah.
right? Because, like, for instance, we have little friends within our group.
Mm-hmm.
Prof, he has like hella friends, and I'm like, how do guys have so much friends? Like, what's the difference between?
I feel like their dynamic might be different than what ours is.
Like, they don't give a fuck about anything. They just talk to everybody.
Yeah.
They're like, it's just.
Is it
girls,
a loyalty? Like, is it? You think? I don't know. I don't fucking know. I haven't been with a guy in a long time, so I don't fucking know.
No, I just think guys don't give a fuck, and girls give too much fucks.
Yeah.
Like, guys are just like, oh, hey, what up, bro?
Yeah.
Like, what up?
And they're not
Right?
cool. Then they're not cool.
Yeah,
Like, they don't want to talk about it and squash it. Like, it is what it is.
But girls are
Yeah.
like, so, I feel like,
Sentidas.
real, like, I don't know.
Sensitive.
They're very sensitive, very compare-y, very weird.
Very what is that called? Like territorial.
I'm territorial, so I won't say that as a negative.
I'm territorial too. Like if she's like hanging out with someone else is like too like extra close to her, and I'm like, who the fuck is that? You know? And I don't know why that is. Why girls are like
Why
that.
are girls like that? Okay,
Why
so
are we like that?
let's talk about that. So
Yeah.
why? Okay, so next episode we'll talk about friendship and
Yeah.
friendship. What is the issue that you have? Like, what's your longest relationship you've
With a
been-
friend.
With a friend.
Yeah.
What's your longest friendship? What are issues you've had with?
Past friendships that
Yes.
you're not no longer
Like,
friends
what's like
with.
a juicy
Like
ass?
what? Yeah, like what was the straw that broke the camel's
Yes.
back between you and either like a long-term friend or someone you thought was super close to you? Because
Because
I have a
short-term
good
friends
story.
can do some damage.
100%.
Short-term friends can do.
And you know why? It's because you don't think that they're short-term. You're expecting them to be long-term, and then something happens, and then it affects you more because you're like, damn, bitch, I thought we were gonna be cool for a long time.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But be honest, was it you or was it her?
Yeah,
like be
because
honest about it.
Self-realization.
Yes.
We're working on self-realization, and but I do want to know the tea on
Yes.
friends, because is it just us? Do we only have like a little bit of friends, or like is it just a girl thing? Like,
Yeah.
what is it? Because when I see girls with a lot of friends, I'm like, how do you have
I'm
that
the
many
same
friends?
fucking way.
Your
I'm
cousins
like,
don't
ew.
count.
Yeah, cousins don't count.
Cousins,
Family
friends-
doesn't count.
Family does not fucking
No,
count, because
no,
I have family, you
Yeah,
have family
I have
that are
family
like
that
your
hang out
road
with all the
dogs,
time,
but
yeah,
no, those don't
100%.
count. Your friends outside of your family.
Yeah. Non-blood related.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, because you're bound by blood. It's, you know. I mean, hey, if you have some stories about that too, we'd be interested in
Oh,
it.
of course. That would be another episode.
Oh.
Family drama. That's a good one.
Yeah, I have some.
Oh, I have some stories too.
I have some great
See,
stories.
the rolls are rolling.
Yeah, the
like
wheels.
these rolls, right?
Oh my god! Well, I'm so excited then.
I know, excited too.
Oh, we're so happy to be back, guys.
Oh. All right, thanks guys for tuning in. We miss you guys so much. To our sugar babies.
We love you.
Yeah,
so
please
much.
repost, share,
Yes.
tag us and everything.
We're trying to become TikTok famous. Follow us on TikTok.
yes.
We just started
TikTok.
Raw Sugar Podcast.
Yeah,
We
so
just
simple
started it.
altogether. Yeah. So we will. Hopefully, we'll have some new merch coming out.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Let us know what you guys would want as merch.
Yeah. Let
Cups,
us know.
shirts.
Crop tops.
Crop tops. Not for me.
Baby girl. Shut
Roll
up.
tops. I know.
Crop top.
If you have kids, let us know if you want kid sizes. That
Oh,
would be a good thing too.
look, little Raw Sugar.
I know.
Mace would be like,
I know. All gangster.
I know. So cute.
So cute. All right. Well, we love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. We missed you. Cheers.